We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Hey. Well, hello and welcome into this Tuesday's movie news. I am Jonathan John Walsh here, fighting through the norovirus, the formative stage, the end stages of the norovirus, to speak about some movie news because you just can't get me away from it, man. I fucking love it. I'm here to speak about the Batman. But look, before I get into the Batman, because there's more than the Batman gets spoke about on this show tonight, I'm going to get into my trials and tribulations of norovirus. We missed a movie news last night. That pains my heart. It pains me to my very core to miss any show on any level. Not only did we miss a movie news, but we missed a recording opportunity for The Family Man, which we normally do on the Sunday, and then at some other fucking point during the middle of the week. And yes, it was absolutely fucking horror for me the last couple of days, so I should be getting an enormous fucking pat in the back from anybody coming in and watching this for being here and doing this movie news show, man. Because norovirus, if you have not had it, is the single worst motherfucking virus on the planet. Not coronavirus, not influenza. Norovirus is the worst fucking thing. Steve knows what I'm talking about, because that poor bastard has had it twice, or some form of it, again, within the last week, and he was round recording a video when he done it, and actually continued on. I had passed out at this point 2 days ago, on my fucking couch. But fuck that, I'm here to speak about some movie news. That's the last time I'm going to swear on this show tonight, by the way. There will be no more swearing on this show. I will do my very best not to utter another profanity from the beginning, or this point anyway, to the very end, just to prove that I can do it. Because my very last solo show was disgraceful. I would make Billy Connolly blush with the sheer amounts of expletives that were coming out of my dirty mouth. But look, I'm here to speak about the Batman. I've said in the thumbnail, it sets a record. I've said there, slightly contrary to that, but it's not. It's an additive to what I've said, that it crosses $750 million at the box office. Why does that matter? It's 2 days old. I hear you ask. Well, I couldn't find any more news that was more up to date, that was worth speaking out, apart from Thor: Love and Thunder, which is also out of date because that came out yesterday. So I thought, look, fuck it. I love the Batman. I've sworn that's the last time. I love the Batman. I love Matt Reeves. I love Robert Pattinson. I'm going to speak about this movie reaching another milestone at the box office. Why is it important? Because it is the first movie of 2022 to reach the $750 million mark and cross it at the box office. As you can see here, Joe Anderson of Digital Spy. Because I went for this article. The other article I initially picked out went at it from a slightly more negative slant, and I don't like negative Nancy's. I'm a very much glass half full kind of person. This other guy writing for MovieWeb or whatever was very much a glass half empty. And he took it from the opposite angle. He decided to take a movie making $750 million plus at the box office during a pandemic. We're still in the pandemic. It is not gone yet. Yes, it's a bitch cold now, and people are slightly unwell for a couple of days if they've took their vaccinations. But it's still here. He decided to take it and slant it as it finally beat Suicide Squad at the box office. You know that shit movie that everyone panned, that had the Enchantress as a villain, Cara Delevingne in there? It beat that finally. Yippee! I'm like, get. So I went for this one instead, which had a slightly more positive outlook on this milestone that the Batman has crossed. Now, this will probably be the last milestone that the Batman will cross box office wise, because it is now out on the US streaming service HBO Max, which of course means that it is now absolute free and fair game to pirate this movie, rip it in all its 4K and HD goodness straight to the wherever the hell you get pirated movies. So yeah, that will not be crossing any more box office milestones, I would presume, unless it opens up in Russia, which is about as likely as me becoming a millionaire and marrying some good looking woman out there, actress, famous person, preferably a billionaire, because that's what Brooklyn Beckham did, the lucky little bitch. I don't count bitch as a swear word, by the way, so that doesn't count. I've said that twice. That's going to be my get out. There's going to be a couple of get outs tonight. I will be leaning on Father Ted, profanities, feck off, things like that, and that's my get out. But I'll not go to bar steward. That's a bit weird. That's childhood playground language. We don't do that here. If you can't swear, just don't bother. The Batman is officially out on US streaming service HBO Max, so now is a good time to look at how well it has done on the big screen so far, and it has done very, very, very well indeed. It's just a shame it's coming up against an absolute titan in No Way Home, which has grossed over $2 billion at the box office, but of course No Way Home came out at the tail end of last year, so it is technically not the highest grossing movie of this year, although depending on the numbers, it may actually be the highest grossing movie of 2022. Because if it's made $1 billion post-January, then it's technically made more money than the Batman. But look, we're not getting into minor details here. We're just going to go meat and bones and say this is the top grossing movie of 2022. And the first one to gross over $750 million. But look, we'll let this guy write it out and I will read it word for word. Then I'll move on to another thing I want to speak about regarding the Batman, which is actually the sole reason I've prefixed it with this, because you can't headline a show speaking about deleted scenes unless it's a Joker, and it isn't. It's the Penguin. So I've let the cat out the bag, the Penguin out the bag. The latest big screen iteration of the Caped Crusader has become the first film of 2022 to pass $750 million at the box office. I've said that 3 times already. It's a bit of a damp squib now that I've said it for the 4th time, but hey ho. Currently standing at 751,602,773 worldwide at the time of writing. That's very precise. Do we really need that $3? I don't know. Unsurprisingly, that also makes it the highest grossing film of the year so far, both globally and domestically. In second place, there's Chinese epic The Battle of Lake Changjin. We don't really care about that movie. We're going to get into this. This is, speaking of the milestone being passed, President of Domestic Distribution Jeff Goldstein said this via Deadline: the incredible response we've seen at theatres across the country is a testament to both the enduring power of this iconic DC superhero and the huge appetite out there to experience great movies on the big screen. We congratulate everyone involved in reaching this impressive milestone. You know what it also says, Jeff, if I can get the intro out of the way? It tells me that if you have an iconic superhero character, IP, at your fingertips, you utilise it. You get good writers in, you get good directors in, you arm the talent in front of the camera with the best behind the camera, and you make movies with them, man. So going to take that idea and utilise it with Superman. If we don't get Henry Cavill's Superman, let's get the Black Superman from Superman Earth 2, which is apparently getting rebooted with I think J.J. Abrams' production team. Can we please do that with Superman now? Because you've wasted 10 years now on of Henry Cavill's prime not making Superman movies because you think it needs momentum. Well, this proves it doesn't need momentum, mate. See if you get someone like Matt Reeves in but do Superman, it will make the same money as this movie because it's an iconic character and people want to see it. Superman doesn't need momentum. Batman doesn't need momentum. 3 different Batman movies, iterations, 10 years, all been mildly successful. Some been really, really successful. This is really, really successful. So come on, Jeff. Get your shit together, please. But yeah, man, it doesn't surprise me this movie's made over $750 million at the box office. Went to see it, thoroughly enjoyed it. I think I gave it an 8.8. I bumped it up to a 9 out of 10. It was an excellent viewing experience. Matt Reeves ticked all the boxes. Everything I expected to get from this movie, I got. It was the detective heavy stuff for the first 3 quarters. Then it became a Batman movie, pure of heart, in the final act, the final quarter of the final act, if you'd like, the final third of the final third of the movie. But he sort of encapsulated everything that we have come to love about Batman. He's a dark man, but ultimately a dark man with a noble cause and a good heart. And that comes out at the end. The vengeance stuff gets discarded. He realises the error of his ways. He sees a city on its knees. It needs a hero, someone to look up to, and he becomes rebuffed out of the water like Jesus himself and leads the would-be new mayor and her shepherd out of the water into safety. I thought it was a fantastic movie. I loved it. Cannot wait to see it again. And I am sincerely hoping that this movie doesn't get stalled with the HBO Max release, that it goes on to make $1 billion, because Matt Reeves deserves it. And you know what? All those bitches that doubted this movie and says it would flop deserve to wallow in misery. It hits success. But time will tell with that one. I'm going to move on to this little interconnected topic regarding the Batman. Hello, Mike. Jokey Potter. Hello and welcome in. Mike, I'm intrigued while you're in here. I done a little monologue at the start of this show regarding norovirus. That's it, not Nova. Been playing a lot of Guardians of the Galaxy in the last month, and Nova Corps and stuff has been fresh in the mind clearly. Norovirus. Have you ever experienced norovirus? Because I have in the last day or so, 2 days, and Stephen has. It is a absolutely abhorrent illness, and it took us out of the game last night. Well, it took me out of the game, Stephen. Yeah, he's got a lot going on just now, Stephen, as well, to be fair. But yeah, abhorrent virus. Have you ever experienced it, Mike? I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts on that as you come in, and maybe, share your thoughts on the Batman as well. Bit fucking random. And I have sworn again. I says I wouldn't, and I have. That's the third time, maybe fourth I've swore. There'll be no more. Now Batman is on HBO Max, no more box office, in the States anyway. Worldwide, Mike. Realistically, the pirates will have their teeth into it, like piranhas in the water, to fresh blood. It's done, man. There's no more box office. But look, I commend HBO Max, because last year, they went off in this sort of cannibalistic, insane strategy of releasing movies concurrently in theatres and on the streaming service. It absolutely destroyed the box office numbers of just about every single movie on that strategy. To be fair to them, held off. They left it late, and they really utilised every inch of box office for this movie. So I commend HBO Max and Warner Brothers for not going down that stupid rabbit hole they went down last year. Oh no, what is it? Is it like COVID? It's a stomach flu, and it hits hard, man. It comes out of nowhere. It hits hard. I was up for 36 hours straight. I passed out on my couch two days ago, around about this time, actually earlier than this time, and then woke up like some druggie, looking around thinking, where am I? And then I took my dog out for a walk, and I felt like I was Emperor Palpatine floating on air. It's a horror of a virus. I was spewing 10 times. Just horrific. Up until there was nothing left in my stomach. Couldn't even move. Horrific virus. Really, really bad. Don't get it. It's the winter vomiting bug. That's just the more sort of famous name for it. Never had it before, but now I have, and I don't recommend it. But like, that aside, man, worse than COVID. Believe me, worse than COVID. I have had COVID. That was worse than COVID. A little bit more intense and short-lived than COVID, but worse than COVID, it is worse. I know my mother-in-law's assistant living place had some kind of stomach virus and they had to close the dining room. Yes, nobody wants to go eating when they've got that, believe me. What did I eat? The first hardcore day I had it, I think I had like toast and that was it. Not even toast. It was horrific, man. An ice lolly, that's what I had. Lots of water. And I was bringing that up as well. It was fucking terrible, Mike, and that's me sworn 5 times now. But I feel like it's necessary just to emphasise how terrible it was. But I'm over it now, nearly. And I'm back talking about movie news, so I'm a happy man. This is a little interconnected topic regarding the Batman. This is really why I wanted to speak about the Batman's box office, so I could go off on a little aside and speak about this. Because this is something that I wasn't aware of. This little tangent that went down here and explained, I believe it's down here, maybe down here, actually. That we are doing a spin-off show. A spin-off TV show focusing on the Penguin. I seem to have missed this. I knew about the Arkham Asylum TV show, but I didn't know that we were getting a spin-off Penguin TV show with Colin Farrell on HBO Max. That sounds tremendous to me. I loved the Penguin and the Batman. I thought Colin Farrell was underutilised, but when he was there, And it was fine to underutilise him. It was a Riddler movie with Carmine Falcone pulling the puppet strings of corruption in the background. He was the main man. He's out the way now. Now it's the Penguin's chance to rise. But when we did get him in the movie, I thought he was brilliant. He packed a punch. He was hilarious. And I cannot wait to see this guy getting his teeth into this character and taking it somewhere special. And I think HBO Max is the perfect place for that character. I don't want to see the Penguin being a major villain in the second movie. I want to see it being Barry Keoghan's Joker, if he doesn't get arrested again, that is, and go down the route of Ezra Miller, drunkenly doing shit, because I seen that in the news the other day. I want it to be the Joker, and then we go off and do something else with another villain, maybe even this Eggman character that Nick Cage was trying to put through, because I want to see Nick Cage in a superhero villain kind of role. It'd be great. Superhero villain, does that even make sense? I don't know. Super villain. But yeah, there was a deleted scene, and it was a sort of precursor to Selena Kyle getting into the club with the sort of tasty little bit of contact lens gadgetry that obviously Bruce had bestowed upon her, so she could rat out the DA and all the other dodgy crooks in the club. It was a precursor to that. It was a fantastic little deleted scene. Some of the deleted scenes in this movie are short and sweet, and they almost should have been in the movie. I understand the Joker one not being in there because it was kind of like the Riddler scene, and it didn't really make much sense. It bogged the movie down, even though it was only about 4 minutes long. It bogged the movie down. This one's only a minute long. This could have been in the movie, man, and you wouldn't have felt it. And it gave you a sense of what's to come with this character, because he almost is an aside in this movie, as I said. And he's just talking about, yeah, one day this city's going to be mine. Talking about Selena Kyle, trying to recruit her. Maybe seeing some potential in this character. And yeah, I just find it so fascinating what Matt Reeves did with this movie, man. He gave us a gallery of rogues experience. And he felt... I felt that he could have got it really badly wrong if he hadn't utilised all the characters well. And as I says, I didn't think we got enough Penguin. But even then, I think we did get enough, so I'm contradicting myself. I thought he got the balance perfect. And really, really, really looking forward to seeing the spin-off TV shows. I'm not having a stroke here. I'm just trying to see over my monitor, which I've set too high to get the next tab for the next topic. So there's going to be a lot of that. I'm not a midget, I assure you. I'm a very average height man. About 5'10" in trainers. So I'm not that short. I've just set the fucking monitor too high, as I always like to do. Really looking forward to seeing the spin-off TV shows. But yeah, Thor Love and Thunder, you've taken the words right out of my mouth, Mike. I'm going to speak about Thor Love and Thunder, because there was a teaser came out yesterday, and it was long awaited. And to be quite frank, it was getting me worried how long we were waiting for it. I was like, is the unthinkable going to happen here? Is Taika Waititi going to produce a lemon of a movie? Is it going to be an absolute flop? Are Marvel embarrassed of this movie? Is that why they're holding back the trailer, the promotion, till like 2 months before the movie comes out? 3 months, I think it is. Were they embarrassed? That's why they were going back and reshooting God the God Butcher? I don't think so, man. We've seen that teaser. You should have seen the teaser, and it was absolute dynamite. I had to stop myself from swearing. Absolute dynamite from start to finish. The music, Sweet Child of Mine, Guns N' Roses. Not a huge Guns N' Roses fan. I do like, I'm blanking on his name now, the guitarist. I was going to say Slash, but I want to say it isn't Slash. Is it Slash? I should know that, man. That guy got me playing guitar. Is it Slash? Let's find out. I don't know. I've typed there, man. So we'll just move away from that. That could be dangerous. The guy with the curls anyway, incredible guitarist. Like him. Not so much a fan of Axl Rose. I think he's a whiny bitch. But the trailer, the teaser was incredible, man. Just the action, the costumes, the bromance of Peter Quill and Thor. It was all there. Everything I wanted to see from this continuing relationship between the Guardians and Thor. Very much a member of the Guardians now, it looks like. Very, very much. I loved this teaser, man. And as you can see, it showed us a very different Thor. So I'm going to bring this up. This is Empire Film. Shows us a Thor on a journey of self-discovery. We've seen this guy go through the absolute entire lexicon of human emotion. Now, I know he's a god of Asgard. He's not a human. But he really has went through everything. He's lost a lot. He's been hubristic Shakespearean in his sort of arrogance in the first couple of movies. Untouchable. Also in a bit of a Debbie Downer in the first movie because he couldn't wield Mjolnir. He was unworthy, wasn't he, for a while? And then he's went through that lulling confidence. He's get fat. No, there's anything wrong with being fat, man. If you're fat and you're happy with being fat, that's absolutely fine. But I don't think this man was happy being fat. He was locked up in a grubby little house in Norway with Cog, playing Fortnite and drinking beer. See, to be fair, that doesn't sound bad to me, but it ain't Thor's world. Now, of course, he's rebounded by the looks of it, and looks tremendous in a tank top with the guns out, rocking the flowing locks again, and rocking Stormbreaker. I really enjoyed this teaser, man. I really enjoyed this teaser. It felt like everything that came to personify a Taika Waititi movie in recent years. You've got the bit of sadness in there, you've got the laughs, you've got the great music, you've got the sort of stylistic, colourful sort of artistry, and just fully formed and popped out dialogue, everything, man. The characters, the moment they're looking at each other, look at someone the way, I can't mind the actual word, something about look at someone you really love, and you've obviously got Thor coming onto the screen and looking in Peter Cole's eyes, maybe hinting at a bromance between these two characters, maybe hinting at an actual romance between these two characters, man. The way I see that is that they are seeing things in each other that they really love. I think these guys initially lock heads, but I think they will grow to really love each other. They will go on a journey, and I hope it ends in Guardians of the Galaxy. I hope it doesn't end in this movie. I want to see that continue. The Batman is cool, hoping for a great future, but here comes the MCU doing the MCU. Exactly, man. The MCU are the fucking kings, let's be honest. That's the sixth time I swore. They're the kings when it comes to these kind of movies. They just take you to another place. Sheer suspension of disbelief. They make you forget about all your problems, your worries, the nonsense of real life. And it's just blissful happiness. It's a place, it's a state of mind. And I cannot wait to see this movie, man, after the Multiverse of Madness. But man, as you can see there, superheroing days he's about to leave his superheroing days for good. I don't believe that for a moment, because of course we do have God the God Butcher coming in. I'm just going to completely ditch that article. There's more articles regarding Thor Love and Thunder I'm going to get into. He's going to go off in a semi sort of siesta, and then he's going to be brought back. I've got the synopsis. I'm going to bring it up. Bring it up. There's no point me speaking about it. I'll read the synopsis. The film finds Thor on a journey unlike anything he's ever faced, a quest for inner peace. This man's never going to have inner peace. His brother, who he thinks is dead, who he'd kinda turned good, and who is perhaps even gooder than what he was then now, after his experience in Loki, is going to come back and haunt him, you can be sure. He will come back and be a permanent thorn on his side. Multiverse of Madness is about to happen. I'm sure there's more evil Lokis coming out to stab him in the back. This guy will never have inner peace. Never ever. He's doomed to be incredibly handsome, built like an absolute Adonis, wield the power of the gods, but be ever unhappy. Eternally unhappy. And that's the way Thor should be. But his retirement is interrupted by a galactic killer known as God the God Butcher, who apparently people are unhappy about on the internet. People are unhappy about him not having a fucking nose. I've sworn again. But it's necessary. Why would you want him not to have a nose? You've got Christian Bale portraying this character, man. And I'm going to get into that as well. I think I am anyway. I think that's another topic I'm going to touch upon regarding this movie. There's like 4 topics in one. I'll get into that. People are unhappy with God the God Butcher. People want Christian Bale's nose removed. As if that makes or breaks the character's villainry. Okay. Who seeks the extinction of the gods? That's God the God Butcher, by the way. To combat the threat, Thor enlists the help of King Valkyrie, who looked depressed in that trailer. Depressed. It looked like New Asgard had become Disneyland. And she was just sitting in a suit. Looked good in the suit as well, by the way. Just pissed off. I think she'll jump at the chance of an adventure before in the Guardians. Cog. Got to have him in there for the laughs, man. It's Taika Waititi. Hilarious character. I was actually crying with laughter at the end of Ragnarok. At least we still have the foundations of a civilization we can build on. Oh, maybe not then. Boom. Brilliant. I just love Taika. Love him, man. What a guy. The haircut, the fashion sense, the great writing, the filmmaking, the humour, everything. He's the pinnacle of humanity. An ex-girlfriend, Jane Foster, who, to Thor's surprise, inexplicably wields his magical hammer, Mjolnir, as the mighty Thor. By the way, guns galore in there. Not just Chris, But Natalie has got guns as well. She's worked hard, man. She looks good. Doesn't look as good as she did in Star Wars The Phantom Menace, as I said last month, when she was 18. Maybe 17. I can get away with it. I was younger. And I'm still younger to this day, to quote George Harrison. But she looks good for her age, man. And she looks good in that suit. And she's going to be tremendous. She's an incredible actor. And I cannot wait to see her flexing her muscles in this movie as well. Together they embark upon a harrowing cosmic adventure to uncover the mystery of the god Butcher's vengeance and stop him before it's too late. Yeah, well, they are going to stop him, maybe. There's rumours of him popping up potentially as well in another movie. I'd be happy with that. I'd love to see Christian Bale jumping over to other movies. You can't get enough of Christian. Truly one of the great actors of his generation, maybe of all time. And here's a poster. And look, speaking about Taika Waititi and his artistic flourishes, his colourful palettes he utilises in his movies. Look at this. I didn't think it was possible to top the Ragnarok poster. This poster's going to be getting bought, and it will appear behind me in the wall. It's tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. By the way, we got Russell Crowe in that teaser as well. As, God, who is it he's playing again? Zeus. And he looked good even from behind. Can't get enough of Russell either. It's a tremendous cast he's put together. Matt Damon's in there. What more could you want? And I believe Jeff Goldblum's in there as well. I know he is, because I covered it. He was under the fucking bridge in Sydney. Next to the Opera House, and I swore again. That's 7 times. I'm going to keep count. Maybe donate to charity every time I swear. I'll be a poor man. This poster is tremendous. I really, really enjoy it. I love the logo. I know Stephen hates it. I love the logo so much that I've actually recreated the logo for a reaction sort of thing for when the full trailer comes out. And it will go on the poster. On the thumbnail. I love the colour, man. I just love the way it's set up. Thor's the main man. That may be allay some fears about Jane coming in and usurping him. Even if she does, it's a Thor movie. He's still going to be the main man. It doesn't make sense. And then, of course, here, as I was saying, this is the final thing I'm going to cover about this movie before I move on to another MCU-related topic. I think it's the producer that's been out. I need to look at it. It's the actual writer, Jason Aaron. Actual comic writer. Good to see them getting some more time, because they're not getting paid. That's much is definitely true. They're not getting credit monetarily for their movies. Their contributions to these movies. I'm sure they get paid for the comics, which is ultimately really all they should be getting paid for, because they're not making the movies, and they're not writing the screenplays, and they're not doing the makeup. They're not getting involved in the movies, so they shouldn't get paid for the movies. That's what I'm saying. That makes sense. But yeah, he's been out speaking about Bale and the concerns that have been getting put out onto the tinterweb, onto social media, if you'd like, where we know it's just a cesspit of toxicity. And this is what he had to say. And we haven't even gotten the movie. Well, it'll be a long end to this show. We haven't even gotten the movie. We haven't even got the first official look at the movie, is what I meant to say. Version of God the God Butcher yet. Oh, naked HDXYZ online strips without clothing. That don't make sense either. Online strips without clothing. How can you strip if you've not got clothing? You're becoming a fucking lizard. That makes sense, man. You're going to put out dodgy ads, man. At least do it right. That makes sense. How can you strip without clothing? You need to have something on to strip. Oh, you're stripping the makeup, you're stripping the life from me, man. I'm already dying here. Jesus Christ, I'm trying to survive norovirus. I'm doing a show 2 days after it, man. And you're putting that up. Don't do it to me, man. I'm going to have an aneurysm. I can feel it in my neck. I've seen some concerns online about Gore's design based off glimpses of the character's action figure. As the guy who co-created him, oh, we get the bots all the time, mate. I don't even care. Stephen tries to get rid of him. I don't care, man. It's content. I'll take the piss out of it. As the guy who co-created him along with Isad, I don't know who that is. I'll just say that, is that maybe the, I don't know who that is. I'll just say that it wasn't Gore's nose, or lack thereof, that made him the tragic and deeply disturbed God Butcher that he was. Trust in the face of Christian Bale. Need I remind you, it's a pretty goddamn talented face. it's a pretty goddamn good looking face as well, man. He's a good looking man. I'm sure he's pulled well over his career. And he's absolutely right. It's a talented face. This is what I said, I think, last week. Is it the right direction? They're going with the character. Should they have covered it up with CGI? I says no, they should not. When you bring in an actor of the calibre of Christian Bale, an Academy Award winning actor, a man who's renowned even amongst method actors, you do not cover that man's face up with CGI, even if it's to remove a face and be accurate to the comics. You let the man do his stuff. You can enhance it slightly, but you let this man emote to the world, to quote Liam Payne. The world's greatest emoter. Mike, did you see that, man? I'm intrigued. Did you see in the aftermath of the Will Smith slapping Liam Payne of One Direction fame, of Wolverhampton, doing his best impersonation of Tom Jones, and calling Will Smith the world's greatest emoter? In a world that still has Daniel Day-Lewis, that has, I don't know, man, so many great actors out there. No harm to Will. I grew up a Will Smith fan. I remain a Will Smith fan. He's going through a hard time, a guy. He is the reigning best actor in the world just now in terms of Academy Awards, but he ain't the world's best emoter. He's not. He is not. But I tell you what, Christian Bale might be, and you let him emote to the world as a villain in an MCU movie without CGI. So I agree with the writer of God the God Butcher from the comics. Thank you very much for that. And I'm moving on to this. Raimi. There's so much wrong with this topic, but I don't even know where to begin. Everything that I detest about millennial subculture, and probably Zoomer subculture as well, because they are now numerous and grown up. They're under 20s, some of the Zoomers now. I actually don't know the cut-off. I think it's 97, isn't it? So there'll be 25. There is 25-year-old Zoomers out there. So yeah, there is much to blame for it as we are, the millennials. The shortening of movie titles. Empire instead of Empire Strikes Back. I've done it here. And it was a necessity. I didn't do it through choice, believe me. Not only have I done it for the movie, but I've done it for Sam Raimi. He's got the shortest name, potentially, of all directors. Ari Aster's shorter, off the top of my head. And I'm sure there's other ones. Mick something. Guy that done Terminator Salvation. It's like Mick something. I haven't seen it. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. It was right after. Pathetic. The guy took on about 3 different accents in the one interview. He became sort of Jamaican. He was Welsh. Then he became American, sort of California style. Lost the plot. Gunning. Jaw. Just rocking, man. Clearly on the Charlie. And talking absolute nonsense. The world's greatest emoter. Will Smith, apparently. Crackpot of a guy. A crackpot of a band, really. Yeah, don't think I have to say much more. I will be 59 in less than a month. Well, I congratulate you when it comes, Mike, and I feel for you in equal measures. I am 33, I've just turned 33 and I feel 59 after that bout of norovirus. I recently says I went through a third life crisis when I turned 33, not when I turned 30. When I turned 30 I was happy. Didn't think there was any issues, and there's still no issues really at 33. I still have all the verve of a 20-something. I have less hair, I have the same energy, the same drive, nothing has changed. But I went through a third life crisis, that's what I'm going to call it, because I'm getting to 90 odds, I know it, and I will still have all my faculties as well. But yeah, went through a third life crisis, so I can't imagine what it's like being in your late 50s. And I don't want you to think about it, Mike, because it's nearly 30 years away, 20 odd years away. You're not old, you definitely aren't. My parents are 62, 63. 62, yeah, am I right? 62, they're 62. My mother's about to turn 63 in a couple of months, a month and a half. So they're around about your age, man. A little bit older. I wouldn't say they're old. They're not old, man. Not yet. They're just getting there. You've still got a while to go until you get there. So I wouldn't worry about it, man. We're living older and older these days. Just keep eating the healthy stuff, man. You'll be alright. You can enjoy many more MCU movies for many, many moons to come. Speaking about moons and moon units, I feel like a moon unit. I'm rattling just now. I need to get some sugar in my body. I ate an apple a couple of hours ago and I'm feeling the effects. So I'm going to get through this show and then I'm going to get rattled into some food because clearly that foot-long Subway hasn't done it. Sam Raimi. You never thought that a Doctor Strange movie could be made. Would be made. And he's got his rationale down here. Of course, he's making a Doctor Strange movie, so it's very Inception. He never thought it could be done. It was done by Scott Derrickson. Now he's continuing it. It's all very poetic, isn't it? And this is what he's had to say. He was speaking to MC Theatres, and he had this to say: Doctor Strange was like a second or third tier character for Marvel. I don't know about that, Sam. I just don't know about that. Maybe it grew to be a second or third tier character, but I always, in my research of the comics, assumed that Doctor Strange was one of the very most powerful characters in the comics, and he's been progressively neutered over the decades. But he was a very big character, a big deal back in the day, if I'm not mistaken. Very, very powerful. So I don't know, I'm going to bow to this man's fucking knowledge, because clearly he's older than me, and he's probably read a lot more comics than I have, so maybe he's right. Obviously the big popular names for Spider-Man, that's the one you think about right away. Fantastic Four. Travesty they've not had a definitive movie yet. Hopefully that will come. Hopefully Joe Russo was right. The Avengers, Captain America, Thor. And because none of those other movies were being made, I actually never imagined they would make a Doctor Strange movie. It just seemed far from possible. Why am I speaking about this? Well, Multiverse of Madness is coming out. Tremendously looking forward to it. I love Sam Raimi. Grew up with his movies. Was a young teen. Pre-teen. Teen. When the initial Spider-Man movies came out. I call them initial because I don't speak of that one that Stephen went to see in the theatres with his grandmother. That ain't a Spider-Man movie. That's an abomination. So I've got a real fondness in my heart for Sam, and an equal fondness in my heart for Doctor Strange. I am looking forward to this. I can't even express in English. I'm actually losing the power to emote, to quote Liam Payne again. I'm just unbelievable levels of excitement. Why am I speaking about it? First of all, I need to exercise demons of a show a couple of shows ago when I says, are we going to fucking get an ensemble cameo laden movie with that 2 hour and 6 minute running time? And I says no at the time. I have now come to realise 2 weeks on that I am talking utter shite because we're getting reveals in TV spots of Tobey Maguire Spider-Man stuff going on. I think it's a bank or something. There's something going on. There's some little reveal of Tobey Maguire era Spider-Man in a TV spot for Multiverse of Madness. Right off the bat that tells me Tobey's coming back. So that's a cameo. It's a big cameo. We're clearly going to get cameos in this movie, man. I was talking shit. We're going to get lots of cameos in this movie. We're going to get lots and lots of characters. I think we are going to get Peggy Carter in there as Captain Britain. It's almost guaranteed at this point. I'm convinced we're going to get Chris Evans back as Captain America. It would feel like an absolute disgrace to miss that opportunity. There was talk about a year ago that he'd signed a couple of picture deal for Marvel again. A 2-3 movie deal with them to reprise the role of Steve Rogers. I think he's going to be back. I think they'll utilise the multiverse to bring him back. And I'd love to see him. Can you imagine 2 Captain Americas, man? Mackie and Evans together on the screen. Could you imagine it in Captain America 4? The 2 of them, man, together. 2 buds, both rocking the shield. Oh my days, man, it'd be incredible. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see him touch that shield though behind me, because that's Mackie's shield. Get your grubby little hands off it. He did touch that shield. I'm talking shit. He gave him that shield. He gave him that shield, man. He handed him that shield at the end of Endgame. I'm talking shit. This is the food starting to destroy him. The lack of food, the energy starting to seep out of my body. You know what I feel like? I feel like, God, there's something. God, what's it bearing me in mind of? Just feel like the energy is sucking out of my body, man. I'm shriveling into a raisin here. That's what I feel like, a raisin. Doctor Strange is not as popular, but he's strong. Get some food, young man. Well, I will. I'm an old man now, Mike. I'm getting old. I'm not hanging with the young kids. I remember when I was a young man, when I was in my teens and in my 20s. They were the days. Oh, I had hair. They were the days, man. And I look better as well, believe me. Less lines under the face, but I couldn't grow as good a beard, so you can't have it all. I actually could. I could grow a pretty good beard in my 20s as well, and I had hair. They were better days. But sadly, they can't reclaim them. The other reason I'm speaking about this, man, is to, just once again, crap upon that little remark he's made there, Sam, about it being a third or second tier Marvel movie, or Marvel character. And the evolution of this interconnected universe, and Marvel now bringing these characters into the universe and making them big, popular, important characters that make money. Again, it just shows you, as Mike was alluding to in the chat at the start, about the MCU doing it and doing it best. No other studio has got even close to Marvel or Disney success with interconnected universes, let alone with characters that they're doing it with, man. Ant-Man. I love Ant-Man. I love Scott Lang. That's what his name is, isn't it? I love Paul Rudd since back in Friends. But it's a joke character compared to the likes of DC stuff, man. Lex Luthor, Joker, Batman, Superman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, fucking Green Lantern. These are all huge. Green Lantern is DC. It is DC, isn't it? These are all huge characters that they have not even get close to having the success with that Marvel has had in the last 10 years. Consistently going over $700 million, $1 billion, movie after movie after movie. The underperformer being Ant-Man, of course. But for them to take these lesser IP characters, Black Widow, I don't know what she grossed, a lot of money, man. Ant-Man, Doctor Strange. It's incredible how they have managed to. They started with Iron Man, who was arguably not as big as Captain Marvel, Captain America, Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, Hulk, and they made an entire universe out of it. Just incredible success that Marvel have done. Kevin Feige has accomplished over the last 10, 12 years, man. Even now, I will never, ever take a day where I don't get down on my knees and fucking hero worship that man for what he's gave us. A true titan. King of the Titans when it comes to producers. I'm doing Liam Payne again. It's time to move on, man. It's getting dangerous. King of the Titans, King of the Immortals. It would be cool to see two caps. It really would. It just came to me there. It was like an epiphany. Almost like Liam Gallagher found music. He get hit with a hammer at school and he found music. Like an epiphany to him. It came as an epiphany to me there. I can't even say it now. This is lack of eating does to me. This is why I says when we were reacting to All of Us Are Dead, I would be dead within an hour in that school. I'm rattling like a junkie here, man. Absolutely rattling. So I'm going to end it on this, and I'm going to make it quick because I ain't got a clue about Streets of Rage. I'm not going to lie, but I seen the image, and I seen Derek Kolstad's name next to it, and I thought, my, this sounds perfect. If any guy in Hollywood can make this work, it is your man Kolstad. He can make this work. He can adapt this video game from Lord knows when, 90s, 80s, into a movie and make money with it, man. Because the guy has the touch. I just want to see him bringing on like a David Leitch, I think that's what his name is anyway. Bring him on to do the sort of the one-shot goodness, man, that we got with John Wick. I'm sure they worked together on John Wick and it will be incredible. I can just picture it now, man. Wacky, bright, ridiculous, eccentric action. Lots of gore and violence, man. Oh, it will work. It truly will work. But I'll get into it. MCU is not perfect, but they're doing it right. Marvel keeps going. Warner Bros. Delays DC movies sometimes. DC needs consistency. Well, by all accounts, man, I could have spoken about that. I could have spoken about that. They are restructuring. I think they are putting their own sort of Feige figure in place. They're looking to become more consistent with their studio, their production. They're actually prioritising the sort of superhero stuff. So maybe they've seen sense finally. Although whether they get a guy that's capable at Feige to do it's another thing. I personally would pick James Gunn, but hey ho, that's me. What do I know? I'm just some slaphead gimp from Glasgow town in Scotland. They'll not listen to me. They don't even know I exist. Most people don't. But you do, Mike. And I thank you for it. But it's James White, man. I feel like I have read James White's musings before. Because I've commented that he has the same name as a running back of New England Patriots fame, who brought a lot of success to the Patriots. He was a nippy little 5'8" running back, and he was tremendous. I love James. I don't know if James is still there. I took a step away from the NFL last year. It depressed me greatly when Tom Brady left the Pats, and then obviously had success, and then it depressed me even further when he momentarily retired, and then thankfully he's come back. So I'm now going to come back to the NFL and support the Pats, but also support Tom, because I love Tom terrific. That guy is a true wonder of age, of life, of sports, of how to live your life, period, and inspiration. I love Tom. Get it up, all the haters. Video game movies are back. Part 1, see the second story here. I don't care what you're talking about. With Sonic the Hedgehog sequel still running rings around the box office, studios are looking to other video game properties again. I've not seen that Sonic sequel yet, by the way, but I did enjoy the first one. Studios are looking to other video game properties again. Sega is hoping that having John Wick writer Derek Kolstad's script for Streets of Rage might tempt someone to nab it. David Leitch of Bullet Train, get him on board. Get him to direct the Derek Kolstad script. You've got the goodness of the script, the ingenious of it, the brilliance of the choreography, the sort of stuntman insight from David Leitch. Did I say Derek Leitch? I don't know. David Leitch in there. It would work, man. I cannot wait to see this Bullet Train movie. It's coming out soon. The Bullet Train movie looks like what I want to see of this. Colourful, zany, laugh a minute, violence, great action, great choreography. I don't know anything about Streets of fucking Rage, man. I don't know anything about it. I'm sure they'll tell me about it here. Streets of Rage, developed and published by Sega, first launched in 1991. That's why I don't remember it. Way too young. Via the Mega Drive home video game console, the side-scroller follows former police officers who battle a crime syndicate. Right away I'm thinking Robocop, violence, David Leitch. Just fucking put Leitch in this movie. Make it so. Number 1. A quote Patrick Stewart. Since the debut game, the franchise has spawned sequels across numerous gaming platforms. I don't know this. How do I not know this game exists? The latest Streets of Rage 4 was released in April 2020 and has sold more than 2.5 million copies worldwide. That's not a great number, to be fair. Man, this game, this will work. I'm telling you, this will be an absolute success, man. If they can get a Leitch or someone like that on board to make this work. I'm sure it's Leitch who's done Atomic Blonde, who was involved in John Wick. It will work, man. I think he was all involved in John Wick. I know Chad Stahelski done John Wick as well, but I'm sure Leitch was involved in some vein. It's a match made in heaven. If they can get the right director, they can cast right, balance the humour with the silliness, the sort of violence. Just get the balance right, it will work. I'm comic booked, brained out. I can't even fucking speak tonight. Comic book brained out my head tonight. That doesn't even make sense. Video games are on the rise. There's a renaissance of video game adaptations just now. They says it. Sonic the Hedgehog, the Pokemon Detective Pikachu stuff. It is working, man, just now. Strike while the iron is hot. Utilise talents like Derek Kolstad, and you will have success, man. We need it. Us video game fans need to have good movies. We put up with shit for years. It's time, man. We had Fassbender doing Assassin's Creed movies, man, and it was shit. It should have worked, but it was shit. Give us it, man. To quote my old neighbour, give me it. I'll not mention the context of that. That was told to me in confidence. It was disturbing. That's what that was. It's fucking disturbing. Let's go around the show up, man. That's a dark place to end the show. Give me it. What is your thoughts on the array of topics that I have touched upon on this here show tonight? What do you make about that headline about the Batman crossing $750 million worldwide and in turn becoming the top grossing movie of 2022? Have you seen the Batman? Are you one of the few people who has not seen it? Well, you can pirate it now if you don't stay in the United States. Or if you do stay in the United States, don't pirate it, by the way. That's just a joke. Watch it on HBO Max. It's a fucking great movie. And it really deserves... Go and watch it in a theatre. It's still out in the theatres. Just go and watch it if you've not seen it. It's a brilliant movie, man. If you have seen it though, do you think it deserves its success? Do you think it will make any more money at the box office? Mike doesn't think it will because it's on HBO Max, and neither do I. What's your thoughts on the other topics? Thor, Love and Thunder, the teaser came out. Are you excited for it? What do you make about the new poster? Are you worried about God the God Butcher not having a nose? Or having a nose, I should say. Do you think he shouldn't have a fucking nose? I think he'd look like Voldemort. It looks silly as hell, because he ain't Ralph Fiennes, and we've already had it. There'd be noseless fatigue. We've had enough noseless villains in movies. Enough. Give us a nose. And Christian Bale's got a good nose. You can comment down below if you've got anything to say about that. What do you make about Raimi coming out and sharing his surprise at the success of Marvel, using second and third tier characters from the comics and having real success with it? More specifically, Dr. Stephen Strange. You can comment below if you've got anything to say about that. Finally, Streets of Rage, Derek Kolstad. Who would you like to see coming in and directing it? Do you think that has the potential to be a real success cinematically? I certainly think it does. Share your thoughts down below if you've got anything to say. Thank you, Mike, once again for coming in. I appreciate you coming in, man. I appreciate you appreciate my takes. That's a lot of appreciates. I am fucking rattling here. I'm going to end this show. Comment below if you have anything to say. Like the video if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification button to get notifications straight to your eyeballs. The very moment we do another show, it'll be tomorrow. Me and Stephen, it'll be a short one, because we're going to pre-record the Family Man reaction for Thursday. You can also do the same over on Twitch for live shows. You won't get the pre-recorded because Twitch are bitches and it's a live stream only platform, but you can hit the follow button and the notification thing over there as well to see us when we go live over there. Regardless of what you do, thank you once again for watching, and until the next time, bye bye. I am going to go and rattle some food. I don't know what, but I am. Maybe some Krispy Kreme donuts. Maybe a bit of, I don't know, I'm going to eat. Very hungry. Very hungry. That day of not eating is fucking catching up now. Badly. I'm going to be like John Candy by the end of this week. Bye guys. Thanks, Mike.